Jessie.
And your
Jessie, Jessie. Candel, it's Kandel.
Cool. Okay, we have just a few questions for you about like the history of like, or how long have you been working here for? Let's start with that.
Okay.
We're new.
We're both really new. So history is not the best question for us, but
History of the club?
yeah.
I know a little bit.
Okay. What do you know?
I can tell you what I know. This club, the South Boston Clubhouse, has been around for about 70 years. So we're one of the original clubhouses in the Boston area. We're part of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. So there's 5 clubhouses, which are freestanding buildings, and then 6 on-site clubs. So those are clubs that are like in schools.
Like within a public school system?
Right. So for example, the Condon Elementary School is right up the street. They have a club that operates at the school.
Like an after-school program type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, but then there's some kids from there that come here. But we're all part of the Boston agency.
Do you guys know anything about like the community of South Boston, or like, where did you guys grow up?
I'm from Maryland. I'm not from
Oh.
Boston.
I'm from Buffalo.
Okay. So do you know anything about like the community, or like do most of the kids come from this community?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's something that's interesting is a lot of the kids that are now junior staff were members, and a lot of staff, our coworkers, our supervisors, all were members here when they were kids. And it's a lot. It's a big culture. It's a lot about working here. And South Boston, a lot of the kids are from just like right down the street. They can walk home.
And their parents went here as kids or
Right.
played hockey here as kids. There's a lot of local politicians who came to the club as kids. A lot of police officers I've heard who grew up. And they talk about it like, oh, I grew up at the club, you know, rather than going home, they come to the club, hang out with their friends.
Yeah.
Has it changed, do you know, has it changed a lot from when it first started to now?
I don't get the feeling that it has. The building has grown. So what used to be the gym is now our social recreation, so games and things like that. So we added on our current gym, which would indicate that our programming has grown as well.
Yeah.
What are some examples of like programs here that the kids do or are involved in?
Okay, well, I know in the winter there's a club called Chill, and they get to go snowboarding, and they go to, I don't know all the names of the different like ski places around here, but they go to all those places. And so that's for like the preteens. There's the Torch Club, which is like kind of like the main. They get elected to be to do that, and like it's the older kids. I think there's an age limit. I mean, like you have to be 9 at least, and so they're kind of like elected, and they're the guides. So they do lots of like planning with Anne. She's Discovery. She's our arts department. And they plan everything from like, we're having a dance tonight. We have Friday night dances, Friday night events, crazy hat dance for April Fool's Day. So they do a lot of planning like that. And then what else do we do? I work in the members lounge in the social recreation department, and we're going on field trips. There's a lot of field trips going on. But there's a lot of clubs for preteen age. Like, there's like Discovering Justice, and they get to actually like work on, like they get to meet lawyers and talk about their jobs, and so it gets them thinking about careers. And so there's a lot of different things like that going on.
Okay. And then we were wondering like how this working here like affects your life. Is it a big part of your life, like stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I'm new, so, well, I'm not that new anymore, but it has changed I mean, that sounds silly. It's changed my daily routine, obviously. I really, really enjoy coming to work. I'm on co-op, actually, from Northeastern, so this is my co-op position. And a lot of my other friends don't like their jobs, and I look forward to coming to work every day. The kids are great, sometimes challenging, but it's rewarding. And I definitely feel like earlier, like I was saying about how a lot of my coworkers and supervisors were members. I feel like it's part of the culture here, and it's like a really big deal. And even the kids that I work with are always like asking me, like, I can't, do you like working here? Like, I can't wait to work here. Like, there's a lot of like, there's just a lot of incentives for them to keep doing well at the club, do well at school, and then they can be junior staff. And there's a lot of just, they want to work here. They want it to be part of their life forever. So
you'd mentioned
cool.
there are some challenges. What do you think it makes it challenging for you?
Well, my biggest challenge is finding good activities for 30 plus 7 and 8 year olds in a pretty small area. So it's hard keeping them all interested and engaged in something. And when I find a good activity for it, I jump on it. But because that's a really hard age group, obviously. 30 of them is hard, but other challenges, I guess, would just be kind of like behavioral things on a daily basis. There's certain kids who have behavioral disabilities, emotional disabilities, and we need to be aware of those. Also, I work a lot with our new inclusion team, and that's Jessie is the inclusion facilitator here, and she is working a lot on kids with IEPs and working to make sure that they're fully included in the club and getting to do fun things. And so she's kind of recruiting and making sure everyone knows that we're a really inclusive club and we're open to having lots of kids that have, you know, different types of disabilities, whether it's physical or intellectual.
Do you feel comfortable in this environment?
Yeah, I feel really comfortable. I really feel comfortable working with kids. Feel comfortable with my coworkers. I think it's a really welcoming club for kids and for coworkers, and it's been really fun for me to get into the culture here.
Do you know how long most people typically work here?
Well, I think if you did like an average of years from like all the people, it would be extreme. Like, I mean, I'm extremely new, but people like Ryan, my supervisor, like I said, he was a member. He's still working here, so technically, if you wanted to, you could say he's already been working here for like 10 years, and he's 24 because he started working as a junior staff when he was like 14 or 15. So
people normally work here for a while.
Yeah, long time. And like I said earlier, the art department, she has been working here for like I think over 25 years. I'm not sure. Don't take me on the exact number, but she's been working here for a really long time. She loves it. This is her club, you know.
How did you find out about it, or like first get involved?
I always thought that Boys and Girls Club would be cool. At home, it wasn't really something that was accessible to me, and I didn't grow up here, obviously. But I mean, it's something that a lot of my friends grew up doing, and I've heard just like awesome things about Boys and Girls Clubs of America in general. And then when I was applying for jobs through my co-op program, this is one of them that just like stood out to me as something that would be like really rewarding. And I mean, Boys and Girls Clubs of America has like such a name. It's like you know, everyone knows what it is, and there's a reason for that. So.
Are there any like particular stories? I mean, I know you're new, but anything that has like stuck with you particularly?
Let's see. Well, there's this one girl that we work with closely, like in our inclusion program, and when we first got here, she was really. I don't want to say difficult, but hard. Lots of different like issues every day, temper tantrums and stuff like that. And on a certain day, I don't know if this is supposed to be funny or not. Is it okay if it's a funny story? So in my room we have Dance Dance Revolution, and she couldn't quite figure out how to do the dancing, and she was freaking out about it a little bit, but she likes the music, and so now that's like her theme song, like one of the songs, or her theme song.